Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm gonna be talking about a game I recently just completed, and that's Blue Reflection Second Light. I played it on the Nintendo Switch, but it's also on PS4. It's a game I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did in the end. This video won't be containing any spoilers beyond the main synopsis and very small parts of the early story, but if you want to go in like completely blind towards the story and with just like an idea of the gameplay, I have a card at the top here. Otherwise, let's get into it.
I'm fragile, wash my hands in gasoline, matches and kerosene. Please handle me carefully.
So Second Light isn't the only entry into the franchise. There's also an anime as well as a previous game. The game itself has a very self-contained story, but there is a character from the anime and a character from the other game. But you do not require any prior knowledge from the game or anime because Second Light provides you with pretty much everything you need to know about all these girls that pertains within the context of the game that you're playing through. The only problem is that if you plan on playing the other game after, most of the significant events are already revealed within Second Light. I'm sure some dialogue and some scenes between the two characters would be improved if you played the previous game and watched the anime, if that's something you're into, but it's not necessary for what I did. The main line is everything that is shown within the game is explained within the game, and you will not need any prior knowledge to experience probably 99% of the game in the best way. Plus, the game revolves around girls having amnesia, so I don't really know how you can have a cleaner palette for like a self-contained story than that. But with that said, let's get into the story.
Am I going crazy? A thing for you, a thing for you, a thing.
There's several layers here when it comes to the storytelling in Second Light. There's the surface level of the game that tells a story of a group of girls stripped of their memories who have been transported to a very alien world that consists of the school our main character was heading to before waking up in this new world, along with locations called hardscapes that contain the memories of these girls within dungeons. But beyond that is where the game shines. The character storytelling is phenomenal. How I saw it was a very metaphorical way of telling the story of these girls. Locked up in these hardscapes is the girls' memories, but along with that is the trauma and the defining moments that may not want to be remembered. You have to venture from the safety of the school through these dungeons in order to reveal the truth behind these characters, and really does put on some great displays of self-acceptance and denouncing escapism. Some of the individual stories are actually really emotional and really good. And this comes to the best part of the game, the girls themselves. All of them truly are their own characters, and it's surprising how well it was done with the quantity of characters. There's no shortage of dialogues or events between each of the characters, and you come to know them a lot better than you'd think after their first introductions. With all this said, without a doubt the character writing is the highlight of the game. It was the best part for me.
Wasted, burned out, chasing the sun.
Being a JRPG, you need to have a solid combat system, and Blue Reflections really grew on me. While it starts off as a slower paced button masher where you just select the first moves available, the longer and tougher battles require you to create some of a strategy to get it done. That's not saying the game's really hard. You have to complete the game to get the harder difficulty, which is something I've always hated when games do, but that's another topic. If you make full use of all the resources within the game, like customizing the school to get different stat bonuses, or going on dates and different side quests to get different fragments and upgrade your characters, you never really need to grind for EXP, and there's many various ways of increasing your character's fighting abilities. In terms of the overworld exploration, it's bare bones as it is with most JRPGs. The overworld mechanics are very generic and basic, if just not flat out bad, but this is the standard for JRPGs, seemingly not putting too much effort towards the overworld, even having some bad dungeon designs, and really prevalent at the end of the game. There was a lot of potential to be added within the overworld, as well as some other features like customizing the school, as well as having the item and building system. I wish they would have went more detail into it, so it could have been on par with the rest of the game. I really do wish they utilized the school a bit better. You could have played the entire game and not explored more than a significant chunk of the school. One other complaint I could see people having, and me agreeing with, is the bosses were fairly bad. The bosses of each hardscape, they could have had so much potential, but they fell so flat. There should have been more of like a culmination of the story that is happening within the hardscape they're in, and make you overcome them, but they were just more like generic and not really specified bosses that they're just pylons for you to knock over, for you to continue on your path. And for the production, flat out, the graphics and animations are not great, but the way the game utilizes the poor graphics is done really well. The landscapes are beautiful, the designs for various things are great, and they take advantage of all this to hide the very unimpressive graphics. The music and audio is great, especially the voice acting. Just the graphics and a lot of the assets they're not up to the quality you'd really expect from a game releasing in 2021. With all that said, Blue Reflection Second Light is a game I'll highly be recommending. The story and character writing is more than worthwhile, and I would recommend it to the narrative-oriented audience. And the battle systems as well as the smaller features are great for those who are more into the gameplay side. So make sure to check out the game if either of those sound appealing to you. Alright, that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like, and make sure to check out my Instagram. Thank you. Easy.
Well, no